Ikshvaku dynasty yesterday. Today we are going to study about Abhiras. Those who are looking for study material or bit material for Ikshvaku dynasty, you can comment me or message me in my page or in the comment section. I'll be very happy to give you the information. Okay, so yeah, today we are going to start with Abhiras dynasty. It's a whole new dynasty, and this I'm going to complete in one lecture, which is today itself. So as you guys know, I begin with first defining what my intro or the slide is about, correct? So starting with the Abhiras, today's topic, the ruling period, you see it is almost about 90 years. And you know why I have put this picture? This is the picture of one of... Hi, hello everyone, how are you all? Welcome to our channel, My TSPSC Preparation. Yes guys, we have completed the book covers of Mahabhyasya of Patanjali. You see, Mahabhyasya of Patanjali. What is it? Mahabhyasya of Patanjali. So why did I put this picture? Why not some different picture is the question you can get. The reason being is, see, Abhiras, they are foreigners. They are not any Indian dynasty. Okay, and we did not actually get much information about the kings ruling during the Abhiras time. So since these Abhiras, they are foreigners, they will not be giving much importance to Abhiras. Not just because they are foreigners, because we did not get much information, guys. What are the ruling kings during that time? So this many information is we are not familiar with. We just found few inscriptions through which we got to know, okay, Abhiras was a dynasty which ruled so and so regions. So those sources only we are going to look into. And the Abhiras, it is a foreign dynasty. This was written in Mahabhyasya of Patanjali. Guys, Mahabhyasya of Patanjali, the picture which you are seeing, it is not the actual book. It is a translated book. The actual book is written in Sanskrit language. Yeah, so this is the translated version. So basically in Abhiras we have almost around 10 kings, but you know, we got to know about very few kings, and mainly one king, I should say, because not many kings we got to know, guys. So we are going to look into just 1-2 kings, and then mostly resources, how we got to know their information and all. Yeah, let's move. The first slide, you see, we are going to study about the territory side. You see, Abhiras, they are foreigners. Okay, this was told by what? It was told by this book, Mahabhyasya book. What did this book say is, Mahabhyasa, these Abhiras, they are foreigners. They came from Iran side. They came from Iran, and they came like this. They occupied Maharashtra and north of Telangana. Okay, so this was the territory they were ruling. What is it? The north of Telangana and complete Maharashtra they were ruling. Okay, so this was told by which book, guys? It was Mahabhyasya of Patanjali. While Abhiras were ruling north Telangana, what was ruled by south Telangana? We saw this, it was Ikshvakus. So during Ikshvaku time, it was the South Telangana was under the control of Ikshvakus. Okay, so this we got to know about the territory, and also what did the first literary work, that is Mahabhyasam, talked about. And another inscription we got to know from Rudradaman. Remember who is Rudradaman? He is a Kshatrapa and he is a Saka ruler, right? So Mahabhyasam, it also said that these people who Abhiras, they entered to Maharashtra from Iran to Maharashtra along with the Sakas. Who are Sakas? They are the foreign tribe, right? So this Rudradaman belongs to Kshatrapa dynasty and he is a Saka ruler, right? So he came along with Saka and he started ruling. So in Rudradaman inscription, the position which was given to Abhiras was Chief of Armies. Okay, this was the position given to Abhiras during that time. So how did we get to know that okay, this was the position given to Abhiras? Is there were names like Bhavaka and Rudra Bhupati on the inscription. That's how we got to know that okay, since Bhavaka and Rudra Bhupati are the chief of armies, Abhiras are chief of armies during that time. So with this, what many historians they have concluded is Abhiras, they existed from Shatavahana's time only, because all these kingdoms like dynasties, they were small dynasties. The main dynasty was what, guys? It was Shatavahanas, right? After that it was Ikshvakus, and in parallel it was Abhiras. So what it is told is, you see, Shatavahana, during Shatavahana time, Gautamiputra Shatakarni, their son was related to Rudradaman. How? He was the father-in-law, and later Rudradaman was ruling after Shatavahanas. So under Rudradaman, they were working as chief of armies, who Abhiras were ruling as chief of armies. And when Yajnashri Shatakarni came, he was the last great king, right? He has overthrown Rudradaman and he started to rule. So during that time, Abhiras started reporting to Shatavahanas. So how did it go first? First, Abhiras were reporting to Rudradaman, who was from the Saka dynasty. After Rudradaman, Abhiras were reporting to Shatavahanas, that is Yajnashri Shatakarni. This was the conclusion made by them. So about Abhiras, there have been 10 kings, okay, which they almost ruled for 67 years, but we got to know about only one king. His name is Raja Mathariputra Ishwarasena. So we got to know just about this one king, guys, Raja Mathariputra Ishwarasena. And with this one king only, we understood that he is the founder of Abhiras. How did the historians say that he is the founder? You see the name Raja Mathariputra Ishwarasena. Normally Shatavahanas, what did they have? Gautamiputra Shatakarni, Vasishtaputra Pulamavi, right? But this person, he also had Raja in his name, which means that he was a Raja of some kingdom, correct? So when he was ruling the kingdom, he might be the start of Abhiras, because till then it was Abhiras reporting to Shatavahanas. So slowly they got their importance and he established the kingdom. That's why he is termed to be as the founder. How to remember the names also I am going to say, no hurries. There is another inscription, guys. This is given by a Lord Buddha devotee. His name is Shakhani Vishnu Niratha. According to this inscription, wherever this inscription was found, that place, he told, who Shakhani Vishnu Niratha told that place was ruled by Mathariputra Ishwarasena. He told that in this inscription. Okay. And he said that the king during that time, he believed in lots of donations. He used to give 1,000 Kshatrapas. Kshatrapa meaning silver coins. Remember, 1 Suvarna is equals to how many Kshatrapas? It is 35 Kshatrapas. This is told by Rishabhadatta. I have explained you in my earlier classes. If you remember, it is well and good. Otherwise, it's a recap to you. Let me erase this off. So what did this inscription say? It said that Ishwarasena, he donated almost around 1,000 Kshatrapas for health purpose of Buddhist monks. Okay, he told that, and also he mentioned that he donated 500 Kshatrapa for the Govardhana trade guilds. Guys, see, I wanted to tell you few things here. Since this trade guilds has come into picture, I'll tell you what. We have 4 castes, right? Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Sudras. Brahmins are the topmost caste. Next is Kshatriyas, who are warriors. Vaishyas are traders. And last come Sudras, who are untouchables. And these Abhiras belong to Sudra category. And this Rajamathari Putra, he is a Abhira king. He donated 500 Kshatrapas to Govardhana trade guilds, meaning to Vaishyas. And we got to know that Abhiras are Sudras from the manuscript of Mahabhyasa of Patanjali. So this was the inscription. What all did he say? He told that Ishwarasena was ruling the region and he has donated 1000 Kshatrapas for medical facilities and 500 Kshatrapas for the trade guilds, which is Govardhana merchant trade, right? Govardhana, if you ask me, Go meaning cow, guys. So Govardhana is nothing but trade of cows. Talking about territory, what did I say? It was occupying complete Maharashtra and then north of Telangana. So what would the boundary be? South Telangana, which was Ikshvakus, and then south side it is Kadamba dynasty. You see this area, it is Kadamba dynasty. So this is another dynasty. So you see east side, what is it? It is Ikshvakus, that is South Telangana, and here was the complete territory occupied by Abhiras. And there has been another inscription which is called Chandravalli inscription. According to this inscription, it said that things were not going right between Abhiras and Kadambas. As per the Chandravalli inscription, it said that there were a lot of fightings happening between Kadamba and our Abhiras. So things were not going well between these two. Chala godavalu ayyedi veela madhyala. So not like fighting sort of thing. గొడవలు అయ్యేది వాళ్ళ మధ్యలో ఏది సరిగ్గా నడవకపోయేది. ఇంకా సముద్రగుప్త అతని ఇన్స్క్రిప్షన్లో ఏం చెప్పాడంటే అతని చేతిలో అబీరాలు ఓడిపోయారు. సో అబీరాస్ లాస్ విత్ సముద్రగుప్త. అండ్ సముద్రగుప్త గైస్ హీ బిలాంగ్ టు ద గుప్తా డైనస్టీ. గుప్తా డైనస్టీ ఈస్ దిస్ పార్ట్. ఓకే, let me make a different pencil so that you will understand. So this is nothing but the top area. Top area will be Gupta dynasty. Okay, so that is Gupta dynasty. So in that inscription he talked that Abhiras were defeated by Samudragupta. And there is another inscription, Nagarjuna Konda inscription. In this also he spoke that Abhiras came to Nagarjuna Konda. Guys, remember Nagarjuna Konda was under whom? It was Ikshvakus. Just note this point. We will be coming to this. There is another inscription, guys, which is found in Nagarjuna Konda area only. As per that inscription, there is a guy called Shivasena. Okay, he is the army chief of Vasishthaputra Vasusena. Who? Shivasena is the army chief of Vasishthaputra Vasusena. He belongs to Abhiras. Who? Vasishthaputra Vasusena belongs to Abhiras. I'll tell you how to remember the name. Vasishthaputra Vasusena belonged to Abhiras. So as per this inscription, it is told that Vasishthaputra Vasusena built Ashtabhuja Swami temple. And also it has Rudradaman name in it. So historians, what did they say is, see, Abhiras are reporting to whom? Kshatrapa dynasty or the Saka rulers, right? Rudradaman is a Saka ruler, and after that it was Shatavahanas. So probably Abhiras invited Rudradaman to facilitate this inscription. Facilitate meaning inauguration of the inscription, and that's how Rudradaman name was also there. In addition to Rudradaman, there were few other kings. There are 2 kings, guys. In addition to Rudradaman, it is King Yavana of Sanjayapura and the King Vishnu Rudra Shivananda of Vanavasa. You don't have to remember their names because you will never get their names anywhere. So main thing is Rudradaman. He was present during that time. So now you see I am talking about Vashishtaputra Vasusena. Right? He is another king. I already spoke about Raja Mathariputra Ishwarasena. Now it is Vashishtaputra Vasusena. That too where it is Nagarjunakonda. And in Nagarjunakonda already Ikshvakus were there. So probably what historians said that after Ikshvakus declined, Abhiras captured this South Telangana also, that is Nagarjunakonda. Where is Nagarjunakonda, guys? It is in Guntur region, right? So they occupied the South Telangana also, or the Andhra side. Before Pallavas occupied Guntur. Pallavas also occupied actually that region. They were ruling it. So before Pallavas, it is Abhiras who have claimed that place. Let me erase this off. Now talking about how to remember the names, guys. So first is Raja Mathariputra Ishwarasena. Putra, okay. Mathariputra we have seen in Ikshvaku dynasty. Who? Mathariputra Veerapurushadatta. So this Putra chronology, Maharashtra side, it is definitely used. We have studied this in the debate between the original home, talking about the original home of Shatavahanas. So Putra, whenever we are saying, it means Maharashtra. Okay, that is following mother's name in their name. And then Ishwarasena. Sena, you see, Sena is ending, Sena is ending. So like that you need to remember. One is Ikshvaku, one is who? It is Shatavahana. Vashishtaputra Pulamavi. Remember, he is the son of Gautamiputra Shatakani. And Ishwar. Ishwar meaning God. And Vasu. Remember Vasudev. He is also a god. So god names carrying are Abhiras. In the question you will get options, then you can remember that okay, this person, he belongs to Abhiras. And he is the founder because he has Raja in his name. Okay. So territory wise also we have seen, guys, what it is. It is Maharashtra and North Telangana, and south side it was Ikshvakus. So what we can say is Abhiras were ruling in parallel to Ikshvakus, or Abhiras are the contemporaries of Ikshvakus. And what is the capital of Ikshvakus? It is Vijayapuri, correct. Abhiras capital is not known, but yeah, Abhiras, they strongly connected with Vijayapuri, and after Ikshvakus it was Abhiras who was ruling the kingdom of south side, which is Nagarjunakonda area. Okay guys, this is the only thing we need to remember. First is what? First main thing, it is Mahabhyasa. Mahabhyasa is given by whom? It is Patanjali. What does it talk about? Abhiras are foreigners. They came from East Iran and they settled here, and Abhiras are Sudras. Right? Next, what is it? Next, we have talked about Rudradaman inscription. In Rudradaman, Abhiras are chief of armies. Right? They are chief of armies. Abhiras were reporting to Rudradaman first, and then they were reporting to Shatavahanas. After that, we have seen about Raja Mathariputra Ishwarasena, one inscription laid by Shakani Vishnu Niratha. She is the Lord Buddha devotee. She talked about Raja Mathariputra, about his donations, right? And this Chandravalli inscription talked about the clashes between Kadamba dynasty and Abhiras. And Allahabad inscription, it talked about what? Abhiras getting defeated in the hands of Samudragupta. Samudragupta belongs to Gupta dynasty. And Nagarjunakonda inscription says what? That Abhiras came to Nagarjunakonda place. So this is the only thing we need to remember. So with this, I have completed my Abhiras chapter also. If you like my video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, like, share and subscribe amongst your friends so that it will be useful to them. And stay connected. Subscribe to the channel to get my latest lectures first to you. Tomorrow I am going to start with the Vakatakas dynasty. Till then, take care, happy reading and goodbye.